My game's map generation is shit. It doesn't have enough variety and it isn't challenging enough. This is how I fix it. Hi, I'm Mustache Penguin and I'm making a roguelike deck builder about building bridges, where your cards are pieces you place on the map to make a bridge. In this devlog, I'll show you how I fixed my broken map generation in 3 steps. But first, what is a map in my game? Basically, every level is a grid of tiles, and your goal is to connect the entrance to the exit. The tiles can have different types, like lava or water, and each one causes a different effect when you place a bridge. So when I say map generation, I mean setting the map size, choosing the entrance and exit, and picking the tile types. That's the full system we need to fix. And since this is a roguelike, we need variety, but not any variety. Good variety. Like the Ubisoft towers. Here's the current approach to map generation. First, I set the number of rows and columns, plus a minimum and maximum horizontal distance between the entrance and the exit. You might be wondering how I set those values for each level. What formula am I using, which variables, integrating, differentiating? I'm using a spreadsheet. I just hard-coded the values, and honestly, this is the only part that works well. Everything else needs to change. Then, with the size set, I generate a random tile type for each spot using Perlin noise, with harder tiles like lava being more likely. After that, I post-process the map by placing water paths that connect the entrance and the exit, like rivers, and the harder the level, the fewer rivers I place. Here are the 3 huge problems with the current approach. First, I made a dumb design decision. The path between the start and the finish shouldn't be the easiest, it's already the fastest, so there's no reason not to take it, which makes the rest of the map useless, so the river approach is horrible. Second problem, Perlin noise doesn't guarantee we'll see all the tiles we want in a level, so we don't really have control over the output. Third problem, I hadn't defined any progression. What tiles should appear as you progress through worlds and levels? So I don't really know what I want per level, which makes it even harder to evaluate the maps I have. It's time to find a solution. With those problems in mind, I stared out the window, trying to figure out how to fix this impossible mess. Suddenly, the brightest idea a human being could possibly have reached my tiny little brain. What if I planned my implementation? What if I planned first instead of just coding without thinking? Yes, a plan. Imagine preparing before going straight to coding. I know, it's hard to follow the complexity of this. Just follow along. I sat down and came up with a 3-step plan to fix the map generation. First step, let's design the map progression. What tiles show up in each level and how often? And to design it, let's use today's sponsors. No one. I'm just using paper. The idea is 3 levels per world, and each world introduces a new tile type. Like Mario games, the first level introduces the mechanics safely, the second makes it the main challenge, and the third makes it with everything else. And yes, I did watch that GMTK video about Mario. This isn't exactly the same, but it's close enough, so I'm calling Mario method. But as I was planning which tiles should show up in each world, I ran into a whole new problem: tile variety. Right now, we only have 2 tile types, water and lava. Technically, I do have mountains in the code, but they don't do anything, so just ignore them. We need more tiles. Once again, time to plan. Yes, I know, revolutionary. The first new idea is the push tile. I'm guessing you already know what it does by the name, don't you? It pulls bridges. Obviously not, the push tiles pushes a placed bridge onto another tile. But I also added pull tiles. Try guessing what they do. They pull bridges. What, did you say push? Why? I also added a whirlpool tile. It rotates a placed bridge clockwise or counterclockwise. And I've got more tile ideas I'm still cooking. Just to give you a glimpse of what could come next, here are a few. One is a moving tile, like a bridge monster, that's attracted to bridges and destroy them. Maybe the player needs to lure the monster somewhere. I was also thinking about a vine tile. It blocks you from placing bridges, and it randomly spreads after a countdown. Maybe we can also add a pair of tiles that work like portals and link together. Anyway, the list can get long and I still need more options, so please tell me your ideas in the comments. With the new set of 5 tiles implemented, I defined which ones should appear in each level and world. I also drew example layouts for each level, so I would have a good reference while testing the new generation. Now I had to decide how to generate the maps, and Perlin noise was definitely not helping. So I made a dangerous move as a developer. I grabbed my gear and stepped outside. Yes, outside. I started searching for the answer in a lethal forest. And suddenly, a seed. The solution to our problems. This is the second step to fixing the generator, a new algorithm. The idea is we start by creating a map with an entrance and an exit, and leave the grid empty. Then, we mark the direct path between the start and the finish. Let's call this the main path. From the previous approach, we learned this needs to be the harder path, because it's the quickest. Now what if we place a few tiles onto the empty map and let them expand into neighboring cells, like seeds. That way, we can put harder seeds on the main path. I will plant 3 lava seeds and 1 water seed. And off the main path, I'll plant 2 water seeds and 1 lava seed. Then, we randomly grow each seed into adjacent open spaces until the map is filled. Okay, this looks promising. Let's see how it performs. I coded a simple script to help me test the new algorithm. I can generate levels across multiple worlds instantly, and I spend the next hour pressing restart and watching maps appear and appear and appear. Alright, verdict time. I can say to the great Mustache Nation, this new generator works. We have maps. We have maps. This approach solves our old problems, but it also creates new ones, tile-specific problems. For example, we need to make sure we don't generate push tiles in a circle pointing at each other, because that would cause infinite loops. And if a push tile is on the edge of the map, it can't point outside. There would be nowhere to put a bridge. Lava has its own issue too. If we generate too many lava tiles next to each other, the player might not have enough rounds to finish a bridge before the lava activates. And before I forget, thanks for the suggestions on the lava behavior in the last video. To fix these problems, I came up with what I'm calling post processors, our last step to fix the map generator. After we generate the map using the seed approach, we post-process it to clean up situations like this. For example, the push tile post-processor searches for push tile loops and breaks them by randomly choosing one tile and changing its direction. It also makes sure push tiles on the edges don't point outside the map. And I made it so the post-processors are independent of the algorithm, so we can change the algorithm freely and add the processors as needed. This is how I fixed the map generation. I've tested it quite a bit and I'm happy with it. Now, we can define which tiles appear in each level, increase the odds of specific tiles by adding more seeds, control the fastest path versus the hardest path, and clean up edge cases with the post processors. Of course, there's still room for improvement, but I want to wait for the playtesters to tell me what's actually bad instead of guessing. If you want to support the game and the channel, leave a like and subscribe. Join the Discord to get access to upcoming free playtest versions of the game, and don't forget to drop your tile suggestions in the comments. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next video, bye bye.